Hello, and in this video I build a Japanese inspired interchange. Now you may have seen there from the cinematics at the end there was a little Google Maps view of the interchange that in question. So I think it looks similar. There are obviously some blatant things that are wrong, like some of the size is off and the roads don't line up perfectly, and some of the obviously the road markings are different. It's close. So this interchange is based off obviously an interchange in Japan. It's near Sagimara, Japan. I mean, I probably butchered that, but that's what it is. And this is basically a toll booth interchange, which allows regional roads to attach to the highway. So this start bit the quality is a bit less because it is taken from Twitch, and I can only stream in 720p on Twitch, so the quality is slightly less. The quality increases about 7 minutes into the video. The quality increases to 1080, but at the moment I can't stream in 1080. I would love to, but my internet is so bad that it's just not going to happen. So in this stream I get the general layout of the interchange down, but I do have an issue because in Japan they drive on the left, and I was stupid and didn't change the traffic to the left hand side of the road. So what I ended up having to do was use only one-way roads so that I could trick this into looking like everyone was driving on the left, when in fact in the game on the map they are driving on the right. It's a bit annoying. I only noticed after I pretty much finished the basic layout of the interchange itself. So I would have loved to do more stuff with the base roads underneath the interchange, but it just wasn't possible because of the limitations that I've put on myself. I actually got a Twitter message about saying I should make this interchange. It was by Justin Biradu. So if anyone else wants to suggest some things, you can send me a message on Twitter. You can even send me just comment. I read pretty much everyone's comment and take loads and loads of suggestions. So if you think of a good interchange or build or something, just leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And as always, all the links to my Twitter and to Twitch are in the description, with the mod list and the assets list. There are now 3 assets lists because there is a limit of 100 assets per 100? There is a limit of 1,000 assets per collection. So I'm on collection 3. It sucks a bit, but it's the only way to do it, and since I've already started I may as well continue just adding on extra collections as I keep adding more and more assets. So as I said, this is a toll booth interchange, and I was thinking I should make a custom toll booth because I've been seeing a lot of custom toll booths being made. Skiv's made one in his Osaka series. Also a French YouTuber, Nagouch. His link is in the description as well because I don't really know how to pronounce his name. But he's been doing some amazing stuff with toll booths and custom roads, and it's just it's amazing. So I don't do a custom one because I felt that this area is so tiny that I have to fit this toll booth in, that a custom one in this small area is going to be a bit of a pain to fit in. And it works out to look quite nice in this area. I mean, it is a Japanese toll booth, so it works out quite well. And we've skipped ahead quite a lot here because all the rest is basically tweaking the roads, making it all perfect. You see here I'm doing a bit of tweaking, just trying to get things into a nice curve. Because the one problem I had was this road I think I'm tweaking at the moment was a bit too tight compared to the real life one, and I was trying to just bring it out ever so slightly just to improve the curve on it. And now the fun part, where I add all the decals. So in Japan they have these red decals, and they appear like in steps. There'll be red, then nothing, then red, then nothing, then red, then nothing, and then there'll be solid red, and then again there'll be like red, then nothing, then red, then nothing. I think this is indicate that there's a sharp corner coming up, so as you approach it, you see these red lines flicker, and then when it hits the red, you know that the bend is pretty much imminent and it's going to be a very tight turn. So what I had to do was, because this is all raised, I could have forced everything to ground and then placed them, but I thought I would try something different. I'm not sure if it was better, but what I ended up doing was placing all the lines and stuff on the ground and then using Move It to raise them up. Now the reason I didn't force everything to ground was obviously you can see there is a ton of roads on top of one another, and it just gets really awkward with how the roads are when they're on top of each other. Like I said, I'm not sure if this was a good idea or not. Probably not a good idea, because it probably would have been easier just to sink them to ground level and do it that way, but I got it done that way, and it was to see if it worked, and it works, but it's a pain. A real pain in the ass. So now we get onto the tunnel entrances, and for the actual main tunnel bit I'm using Ronix's tunnel covers, which fit in nicely with this interchange because it's got similar looking tunnels to this. And then I add these seawall assets to the top of the tunnel to show that this is a bit of concrete holding up the mountain, because that's what they have on these above these tunnels, because I assume they don't want rocks falling on them, so they've built a protective wall above the tunnel to stop rock slides and avalanches breaking and destroying the motorway, basically. And I do this on both sides. They're different on both sides. One is slightly high, so I do this on the other side as well by simply adding exactly the same thing. These seawall retaining walls sort of thing, and it actually looks really nice. The only problem is that these assets have a weird LOD when you zoom out. The mesh on the front basically disappears and you just get a green outline-y sort of thing. They're not terrible LODs, but they're not amazing either. And who knows, maybe in the future if I'm doing more tunnels work near mountains, I'll use this sort of technique where they've got a retaining wall around the mountain to protect the road from rock slides and stuff. It looks really nice. It looks surprisingly good. When I was looking at the image on Google Maps, I did think that it would be possible to make these, but I didn't think they would look as good as they do, especially with all the trees and foliage around it to hide the ugliness of them, because they can't clip to the terrain because they mess with the terrain, so you got to hide all the ugliness with trees and bushes and stuff like that. So here we've skipped ahead where I finished the upper tunnel bit, and I've added a lower retaining wall area. So I just add this building on the side. I believe it is a a sort of a workshop or a storage facility on the side of the motorway. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what it actually is, because for one, I don't read Japanese, so I don't know. Because on the roof of the building it has words written on the top in Japanese, but I don't know what that means. But I assume it's a maintenance facility or something for the highway or the interchange. So now we get on to the bit where I am detailing around the retaining walls, just hiding the ugliness of them, trying to improve them. Now you may notice that I didn't use the right angle ones all the way up on one of them. I didn't do that because I felt that they would look like these two next to each other would look too similar if I had the right angle piece on them. Not sure it really differentiates them enough by not having that, but it allowed me to put some foliage and stuff in between those gaps to like make it more differentiate. And obviously below on the retaining wall I am adding a lot more foliage and stuff to hide the benches, hide the ugliness. Trees are so good for that, but you gotta use the right trees and just not too many. I mean, it is hard to add too many, but you can add too many and it can look a bit full. Like there are points where I've added too many and it just looks a bit off and look a bit weird. So I just finish up with a bit more detailing just to finish some of the areas, add a bit more detail to the areas. Add a couple police car assets and some like barriers. And I go around the outside of the interchange, adding a lot of foliage. I add a couple like ponds, which in real life is a river that flows through the interchange, but with City Skylines water, it's very difficult to do that. So they are 3 separate pools that are just there, and they look like they're connected. This was a fairly short video, a bit shorter than I thought, but I hope you got the general gist of how this build went together. Like I said, most of this build was built on Twitch, and then I subsequently detailed it afterwards. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.